From the mind of Dav Pilkey, creator of Captain Underpants, comes another book-to-film adaptation, Dogman. I'm Anibaxter with Channel Frederator, and we're diving deep into the world of OK City, uncovering Easter eggs, references, and a whole slew of production details. This is 107 Facts about Dogman. Let's get started. Number 1. After previously adapting Dav Pilkey's work for Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, DreamWorks Animation announced the adaptation of another Dav Pilkey work, Dogman, on December 9th, 2020. Number 2. Unlike his book counterpart, Dogman wasn't just a comic book character created by George and Harold within the Captain Underpants universe, but a full-fledged character who existed in the world of Captain Underpants itself. Number 3. Dogman, the film, expanded the Captain Underpants cinematic universe as the official second entry in the film franchise, and was somewhat a secret sequel to Captain Underpants. Number 4. While the Dogman film wasn't a straight adaptation of one story, it did a good job adapting aspects from several books in the Dogman series, especially the first 3. However, the story did take a large chunk from Dogman: A Tale of Two Kitties, featuring multiple characters and plot points from that book. Number 5. The film starts off explosively, with Officer Knight and his dog Greg chasing down Petey, the evilest cat. Petey's the master of making do with what he's had, building vehicles and whatnot from everyday items. Inside his car is a slew of hidden details, such as a billiard ball gear shift, a beaver face emblem, and an air horn which he uses as a car horn. Number 7. The cop car that Greg and Officer Knight drive has some details of its own. Instead of normal Prindle, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low gear, the cop car's shifter simply says, tough. Number 8. Not only that, but as if it isn't obvious it's a cop car, the license plate simply says COPS with a Z. Number 9. Dogman's big red button is labeled with a big "Oh no!", which is an alternative way of saying "oh no", but with a slightly Australian twist. Number 10. Not only does the button itself say "oh no", but right below it, it says "big red button, press for drama". It's a very meta joke that adds literal dramatic effect to the film. Number 11. While he doesn't have to, Petey chooses a building labeled Deserted Expendable Warehouse for his bombing plot, cleverly reducing collateral damage and keeping people safe despite his evil deeds. Number 12. One of the final scenes in the intro includes a bomb disarming sequence, where Officer Knight and his dog Greg work together trying to figure out which wire to cut. Officer Knight cuts the green wire by mistake, realizing too late that dogs are colorblind. For those that didn't know, dogs have dichromatic vision, which means that they can't see red or orange, but most importantly, they can't see green, which is exactly what Officer Knight cuts. Number 13. When Officer Knight cuts the wrong wire, "Oops" appears on the countdown screen. This is obviously for comedic effect, but it's fun to think Petey adds it on purpose. Number 14. This bomb disarming scene is the origin story for Dogman. Because of the explosion, Greg's body and Officer Knight's head are left unusable, so the doctors and nurses come up with a bright and terrifying idea to sew Greg's head onto Officer Knight's body, leading to the creation of Dogman. Number 15. The two patients are taken to OK City Hospital, which is aptly considered OK City's most OK hospital, adding to the list of puns featured in the film. Number 16. While viewers might think that the hospital crew does this without permission of both patients, viewers can actually see Greg and Officer Knight reacting, with Officer Knight even giving a thumbs up in approval of the operation. Number 17. Some details in the operating room stand out, such as the blood or IV bag at the hospital. Observers can see that it isn't actually blood, but cherry syrup. This is likely a play on how most kids' medicines are cherry-flavored syrup. Number 18. The X-rays in the background feature little leaves covering Greg and Officer Knight's sensitive bits. It's a kids' movie after all, can't be showing that. Number 19. Another small detail is that Greg and Officer Knight are patients number 99. Number 20. The newspaper is often a source of really fun gags, references, hidden details, and more. For one, the newspaper is simply called The Times, referencing outlets such as the New York Times or LA Times and others. Number 21. One really fun aspect of the newspaper is that photos taken in the world of Dogman become 2D versions printed on the newspaper, matching the art style of the books. Number 22. At one point in the film, the newspaper doesn't have a proper date, instead simply saying today. Number 23. Viewers can learn very early on that Flippy is indeed already dead before the events of the film. The cause of death is revealed through an elaborate investigation board, indicating that Dogman rolls over his body because he apparently likes to roll over fish. Number 24. Chief keeps the dead Flippy in his filing cabinet, which totally isn't weird or illegal or anything, but sure. Number 25. Speaking of Chief, he has a plaque that says Chief on the front, but from behind it reads "You da boss." It seems like something he uses as reassurance because he most definitely wrote that himself. Number 26. The chief owns a heart-shaped frame with a picture of a woman on it. This is the police chief's mother, who viewers learn in the film has passed away. Number 27. The chief also owns a mug and a picture frame that says, "I love my mayor," but it seems more like him sucking up than actual genuine love, because number 28. The chief apparently likes Sarah Hadoff and has privately and publicly declared that he has a crush on her in the film. This differs from the books, where the chief has a wife who happens to be the nurse whose idea it was to create Dogman. Number 29. Sarah Hadoff is often considered the world's greatest reporter, with the news banner saying as much. But do you realize she also owns a mug labeled World's Greatest Reporter? Did someone give it to her? Or did she buy it herself? Is she a narcissist? Who knows? Number 30. Sarah's dog is featured in a news article with Sarah framing a picture of it, implying that she might have adopted it while covering a story, or that her dog is simply that famous. I like to think the former is true. Number 31. Instead of a normal clock, the chief's office clock only has 4 labeled activities, 3 of which are clearly visible: snack, lunch, and dinner. Viewers can safely assume that the 4th is breakfast. Number 32. In the film, the evil mayor, who is probably just the mayor in this version, gives Chief a phone number to call, which directs him to a person who simply says, "Life's not fair." Well, if viewers call the number on their phone, they too can be told that life isn't fair. Number 33. The number to Life's Not Fair is linked to Glendale, California, where DreamWorks' headquarters are located. Number 34. Mirroring the chief's clock, the Life's Not Fair man's clock only has 4 activity zones as well: nope, no, no way, and never. Number 35. Viewers can spot the county flag for OK City in the background. The flag features a snail, which might reference the slow-moving government in OK City. While the mayor in the film isn't quite the evil mayor from the books, yet this could be a hint at her slowness and corruption. Number 36. Speaking of corruption, the mayor's brother is in charge of cat jail. Considering how often PD escapes from cat jail, his escapes and the lack of enforcement there could be the mayor pulling some strings, especially given how much she wants Dogman off the police force and out of the picture. Number 37. Big Jim makes a cameo appearance as PD's fellow inmate when he is tossed into cat jail. Number 38. Mr. Whiskers also makes a cameo appearance in cat jail, appearing a little after Big Jim is tossed in jail. Number 39. The design direction of PD's not-so-secret lab takes cues from its depiction in the books, as both are very obviously labeled as secret labs. However, the film takes it a step further, making his lab one of the most conspicuous structures in OK City, featuring bright lights and multiple signs. Number 40. Instead of building a cloning machine, PD simply buys one online. The brand or name of the cloning machine he purchases seems to be called Uclonum. Number 41. Viewers can probably tell that this cloning machine is a bit suspect because it also has a popcorn button, which, like some microwaves, considering PD's clone looks to be rotating inside while being cloned, one could assume that this was in fact a microwave or another kitchen appliance, especially since PD was just shopping in the air fryer section before finding it. Number 42. The cloning machine is modular, as seen during the 3rd act of the film when a mysterious delivery man gives PD an undo button. The button is sold separately, meaning that PD purchased the original device earlier in the film. Number 43. In order to make a clone of himself, PD offers a whisker to serve as his DNA. This whisker remains missing for the entire film and doesn't grow back. Number 44. One of Dogman's favorite brands of dog food is Rough Mix, which is a clever play on dog barks. Viewers can see that his fridge is stocked with them. He even shares his meal with Lil Petey. Number 45. The world of Dogman seems to have an Instagram parody in the form of Pix Friends, where people can share pictures online to show off. Number 46. Dogman's Pix Friends account is man_dog. Number 47. When reporting on news normally, the news team is called Live News Live. However, the name seems to be flexible because when something is breaking news, the name changes to Live Breaking News Live. Number 48. Just like the cop car, the license plate of the news van that Sarah Hadoff's team uses reads Live. Number 49. PD builds a robot called the 80 Hexatron Droid Formagon, or ADHD for short, with ADHD being a play on ADHD. Number 50. A fun little detail is that while PD walks around barefoot, ADHD wears flip-flops. Why? No one knows for sure, but maybe it's to protect its feet from damage around the city? He wouldn't want to step on glass, right? Number 51. While PD and his father share 7 stripes on their torsos, little PD only has 4 stripes, implying that as he grows older, he'll gain more. Number 52. The living spray factory makes an appearance in the film, serving as another element from the Tale of Two Kitties brought to the big screen. Number 53. Similar to the Tale of Two Kitties, the spray of life brings Flippy back from the dead. It's also the source of all the beastie buildings coming to life. Number 54. Let's take a moment to appreciate some of the punny companies and brands we see throughout the film. There's a company truck labeled Move Over Movos, playing on the phrase move over. Number 55. There's a brand of peanut butter that's simply called Peanut Butter, with P spelled P-E-E. Number 56. Philly's Cheesesteaks seems to be a restaurant specializing in Philly cheesesteaks. In the film, the food item that their mascot holds up is confused with a gyro. However, it looks more like a steak taco to me. It's all very confusing to say the least. Number 57. Frank's is a location that specializes in hot dogs, which is fitting because hot dogs are sometimes called Frank's. Number 58. A random store seems to be called Chucky's Things You Chuck, prompting questions about what is sold there. Is it a sports store or just a store that sells throwable, chuckable items? Number 59. There's a boot store called Hoot for Boots, which is more than just a store in the film because its giant boots that they have on top of the store turn into actual usable footwear in the film for the beastie buildings. Number 60. A personal favorite is Joe's Cup of Joe, a coffee shop. Finally, a place where one can actually get a cup from Joe. Number 61. There is a moment in the film where Petey tells Little Petey he's heading out to get some milk. It's unclear if this is intentional, but there's a running gag about dads who go to get milk abandoning their kids, especially in anime. Perhaps this moment implies Petey definitely wanted to leave Little Petey, right? Number 62. The team up between Dogman and Petey is called All for One, which with fur spelled like the pet fur. Number 63. When the team up ends, Petey breaks the fourth wall and tells Dogman that their partnership is a bit short-lived, lasting about 6 minutes. Number 64. During the mech battle with Dogman and Petey versus Flippy's beastie buildings, the group finds their way to a park where they continue to duke it out. When citizens try to flee for safety in the midst of chaos, an officer can be seen casually eating a donut. Even the simplest tropes appear in Dogman, like cops loving donuts. Number 65. Speaking of cops loving donuts, the chief also had some donuts on his desk. Number 66. The donut shop, from which everyone seems to be getting these delicious looking donuts from, is visible briefly in the background. It's called Dippy's Donuts, which is taken straight from the books as well. Number 67. Returning to the mech battle at the park, one of the most significant cameos occurs. George and Harold can be seen sitting on a bench. Yes, the same George and Harold who created Dogman in the Captain Underpants books. Number 68. This time, Harold is voiced by Kelly Stables, replacing Thomas Middleditch from the first Captain Underpants film. Harold can be heard saying, "I can see my house from here," with the house, now a beastie building, waving back at him. Number 69. During the park battle, the mailman mech that Dogman and Petey control appears to pull off a hurricane kick straight out of the Street Fighter series. Number 70. When Sarah Hadoff reports on the park battle situation, the news banner reads, "Park renovations underway," which is a humorous way of saying that the park is now about to get destroyed. Number 71. Speaking of those news banners, when Sarah Hadoff and her cameraman are literally part of the action, the banner simply reads, "Live," with no other details. Number 72. The news banner is so flexible that it updates whenever it points at something, whether it's Dogman, the Chief, or the action. Viewers, can you spot some humorous updates throughout the film? Number 73. During a duel at the end of the film, the camera's aspect ratio starts to widen, meaning that the black bars at the top and bottom of the screen begin to grow. Whenever the screen's real estate begins to shrink, a squeezing sound effect plays until the screen is completely black. Number 74. The last act of the film features a volcano, and at the very top, there's a sign that says, "No lifeguard on duty," implying people actually swim in the volcano. Number 75. At one point during the battle, Lil Petey says the line, "Flippy-ki-yay, Flippy Flipper," referencing the famous line from Die Hard, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother..." Well, you know the rest. Number 76. Flippy's tiny arms and hands are so small and thin that when he's arrested, the handcuffs simply fall off. It's this little detail which makes it funny and makes sense considering how crazy and quirky everything else is in the film. Number 77. The song that plays at the end of the film is "Love is a Verb" by John Mayer, which builds on the love theme prevalent in the film thanks to Little Petey. Number 78. While 99% of the film is in 3D, the end credits are a special treat for those who love the art style of the books. If viewers stick around, they see moments illustrated just like in the books. Number 79. Even though the film is a little over an hour and a half long, similar to the books, audiences still get a redemption story for Petey and Flippy. Afterward, everyone just has to wait for a potential sequel. Can anyone guess what we might get next? Number 80. Next, we'll discuss some production facts for the film. Peter Hastings was appointed to direct Dogman, bringing the knowledge he had gained from prior experience with the Captain Underpants television series, The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants. Number 81, Karen Foster came on as the producer for Dogman. She had been part of the DreamWorks family for a while, lending her expertise to Dogman with prior producing credits on How to Train Your Dragon, several Kung Fu Panda shorts, and Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Number 82. In a shift from previous methods of producing DreamWorks films, Dogman was animated using partner studios rather than in-house at DreamWorks. This shift had been seen in more recent DreamWorks entries, including Spirit Untamed and the upcoming The Bad Guys 2. Number 83. Despite coming from DreamWorks, which had made the Captain Underpants film, Dogman adopted a different art style. Director Peter Hastings referred to the look as high-end handmade. He described it as coming out of the books, with a huge part of the charm being the innocence and silliness. The design was guided by the tone of the books, mixing brushstroke textures with realistic reflections. He wanted viewers to feel that they could reach out and grab stuff in the movie. Number 84. Nat Rag was the production designer for the film, having previously designed Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. He's now crafting the look for Dogman. Everyone who loved Puss in Boots is in good hands. Number 85. Chris Hetzel is the storyboard artist. He had previously shaped the comedic timing on Trolls World Tour and the Boss Baby Family Business, and was then put in charge of mapping out all of the action and laughs for Dogman. Number 87. Anthony Zerhut serves as head of story, known for refining narratives on Kung Fu Panda 2 and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Leading up to 2025, he is in charge of Dogman's story team, balancing humor and heart in each scene. Number 88. Under Anthony's guidance, there is a dream team of story artists brought together for Dogman. There's Jeremy Bernstein, Saya Gold, Hannah Kim, Carden Sholin, Adam Rosette, Cameron Miller, Daria Kill, and Marceline Tanguy. Number 89, to round off the wonderful team, was the cast, and there were certainly some heavy hitters. First was the titular Dogman, played by director Peter Hastings himself. Number 90, Pete Davidson, known for Saturday Night Live, The King of Staten Island, and Suicide Squad, portrayed Petey, the world's most evilest cat. Number 91, Lucas Hopkins Calderon, who appeared in indie films like Summer Lights and voiced characters in City Tales, brought to life the adorable Lil Petey. Number 92, Little Ray Howery, recognized for his roles in Get Out, Free Guy, and Vacation Friends, plays the short-tempered, big-hearted chief. Number 93, Isla Fisher, who you can see in Wedding Crashers, Confessions of a Shopaholic, and Now You See Me, takes on the role of OK City's top reporter, Sarah Hadoff. Number 94, Billy Boyd, best known as Pippin in Lord of the Rings, and also seen in Master and Commander and Seed of Chucky, portrays Seaman, Sarah Hadoff's trusty cameraman. Number 95, Ricky Gervais, creator of The Office UK, and star of Night at the Museum and Afterlife, embodies Flippy the Fish. Number 96, Stephen Root, celebrated for Office Space, King of the Hill, and HBO's Barry, portrays Petey's grumpy father, Grandpa. Number 97, other voices heard in the film include Poppy Liu, Lorraine Newman, Melissa Villaseñor, Cherry Ottery, Kate Micucci, Maggie Wheeler, Pierce Bunting, Max Koch, and Ranuma Pintaki, all lending their talents in various roles. Audiences have definitely seen these comedic pros in everything from Saturday Night Live to Friends, Garfunkel and Oates, and more, so they can expect fun cameos, quirky side characters, and hilarious moments. Number 98. The film score was composed by Tom Howe, who provided a musical backdrop matching the superhero buddy comedy tone. Number 99. Dogman premiered at the 2025 edition of the, and I'm about to pronounce this horribly, Festival des Alpes de Hues in France on January 15, 2025, and was released in US theaters on January 31st to generally positive critical reception. Number 100. Dogman was released alongside Companion and Valiant One, and was initially projected to earn $20 to $30 million in its opening weekend across 3,800 theaters, but some estimates place possible earnings at $40 million, with the film making $11.1 million on its first day, including $1.36 million in its Thursday previews. Number 101. In commemoration of Dogman's theatrical debut, Scholastic re-released Dogman books all the way up to Dogman the Scarlet Shedder, with a shiny, now a major motion picture from DreamWorks sticker. Number 102. Next, Jakks Pacific and Disguise unleashed a brand new lineup of Dogman toys and costumes, so fans who wanted to suit up like their favorite canine crime fighter had their chance. Number 103. For anyone who loves exclusive behind-the-scenes goodies, Abrams Books published The Art of DreamWorks Dogman, which released on December 10th, 2024. Number 104. AMC Theaters even joined on the fun. From January 30 through 31st, they gave away one of 3 mystery keychains with every Dolby Cinema ticket for Dogman. Number 105. Regal Cinemas hopped on board as well, rolling out adorable Dogman and Petey plushies, a massive 64-ounce popcorn bucket, and a 16-ounce cup topped with Dogman and Petey. Number 106. Viewers, if you were craving a little snack, Wetzel's Pretzels teamed up with DreamWorks to whip up 3 Dogman-inspired treats, available only until March 2nd, 2025, so fans, you gotta act quick. Number 107. For those watching in Canada, you can check out the DNA My Dog / Dogman sweepstakes. If you told them what made your dog a hero, there was a chance that you could have had a private hometown screening, a Dogman prize pack, and a DNA My Dog test. And that's it for 107 facts about Dogman. Did y'all enjoy the film? Let me know your thoughts down below. There were a bunch of hidden things in the film, and the film goes at breakneck speed. So if you found something that we didn't, let us know what we missed. Thanks for watching, and remember, Frederator loves you.